So we received the other day a bunch of these QR4Rigs mounts, and these are all quick release mounts. It's a pretty nifty design. These are printed, but they're very sturdy, and we're going to try setting them up today. So there's two parts to these things. You get a quick release mounting base, which in this case goes on my 8020 or 1530 rig, and it has mounting holes for that. And when you receive this, you get these are set up so that, I'm doing it wrong here, but these are set up and these cover the holes right now, as you can see. And in order to mount it, you have to remove these, and it's just a matter of pulling out some screws that go in these 5 holes here, remove the 2 outer ones, and then it exposes the holes for the 8020 or 1530. They have a variety of mounts. They have mounts for the 8020 or 15 series, 40 series or 15 series I should say, that has this extended part, and I'll use that for my MS FFB joystick. And then they have flat plates like these that will go with the Orion or the, I hope it fits the Super Libre. I think they have the same mounting holes. And then they have other ones for like a Vipro Mongoose that has an extra extended plate on here. But today we're going to focus on these mounts. I'm going to set it up across everything I have, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how mounting these things works. What's nice is they give you a pack of these fasteners, including the slip-in nuts for the 8020. I mean, these are good, and they're really easy to use. I'm a big fan of the other drop-in ones that have the ball bearing on it. And I tell you what, if you are buying a rig or building a rig out of 8020 and you think, man, I got a lot of fasteners, so I'm going to cheap out and get these slide-in ones that I can never remove. My rig is full of these, trapped all sorts of places, because I just don't use those mounting surfaces anymore. Spend the extra money, get these. They're well worth it, and if you have to move something, they got this little spring ball on the back. You can slide in, and then you pull these out of the channel and put them wherever you want to. And you actually will spend less because you won't end up with captive fasteners if you're somebody who changes stuff around a lot, and that's what I do. So let's get to mounting this base, and then we'll show you how it mounts on the stick and throttles. There is a bit of a change on how it mounts to the F16 throttle because the screws provided don't take into account that extra sliding track on the side for your F16 handle. So I did have to purchase one longer screw for that. I think it cost me 99 cents or something at the hardware store. So let's start putting this base together. One thing you want to note with these is there's 2 ways they can go in. So you can have the joystick slide in this way and be captured, or you can have it slide in this way and be captured. In this situation, I can't slide in because the seats here is in the way, so I'll be mounting it this way to the rig. So I'll just get a few of these screws out. And, you know, just one thing I want to say, even though this is a printed base, I mean, it looks like it feels like it has a lot of infill. Quality of the print is really good. I'm imagining production-wise they're using a commercial printer. But I'm impressed with what you get here. So we'll see how handy this becomes, because I like switching out depending on what I fly or not fly, whether it's commercial or military or space, or switching from the F-16 to the F-18. Really don't want that stick sitting in the center over here because it just gets in my way. So we'll see how handy this ends up being. We're gonna get all these down in this track here, and then just gonna kind of temp fit this to see how this rolls up. I don't want to screw this down all the way because I want to put the joystick base on and kind of adjust exactly where I want it, because to adjust this again I have to remove these outer plates, and it just wouldn't be a lot of fun. Do it once, think it through, and make sure you don't have to do it twice. So this isn't the right base. This here is the correct base for the wing gear, wing. he's got, if you look on their website, they have mounts for anything you can think of. I went with the Pro mounts. They got a lighter version that really wasn't significantly cheaper. And then they got a much heavier duty, I guess if you're mounting something like a force feedback stick or something much heavier. They have mounts for rudder pedals, just a variety of anything you could ask for. So this is what it looks like here. They provide 4 screws that go with it. So here we have the Orion 2. This one happens to be the MS-FFB one, but same mounting positions. This gives you a variety of holes you can mount with, and it's so you have a little bit of adjustability forward and aft. You can turn this around. I have to run it this way, because I need my plate to slide in. So we're going to set this up and put few screws in, line it up, make sure we're on the right spot. I want to have it a little bit farther forward just because of the way everything's positioned in the pit right now without having to adjust more stuff in the so there you have it mounted to your stick. I will show you before I go over and mount the other one how this would work. Sliding into the base, as I said, really neat design. This is another new base. I have bases for the whole pit, but you would pull this out like this and simply slide this in, and it captures it. Push it in to hold it, it clicks to lock, and it's pretty secure. To open it, pull it out, it pushes it forward. You can remove your joystick and replace it with whatever stick you want to use, or throttle, or anything you could think of. Rudder pedals, like I said, they have another setup for that. So I think this is a fantastic idea. We're going to see if it holds up over time and give you some feedback as I use this. But great product here. I'll show you the other mounting options, including the throttle and the side stick mounting option, but I wanted to put this out there first. We'll see the rest of the mounting issues next. So I went ahead and mounted the throttle side and kind of tested out where it was supposed to, where it worked best, at least as far as my reach goes and what felt most comfortable. And I think I have it avoiding the Apache Collective there, but I'll test that. I think the F16 one is the one that sticks over the most, and I don't have the mount on that. But I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up a little bit here, and then show you how these extra plates go back on when you're mounting to a T-slot, 80-20, 15-30, whatever it happens to be. You have to take these plates off to gain access to these mounting holes. Just tighten this up here before I put it back on, because you really can't reach these once those other grooves are in there. So I said it's a pretty fantastic quick setup. Really, the longest time I spent on anything was just making sure that I could adjust it the way I wanted to adjust it. I want to see how that fits on the other plate. Yes, covers like that. So we just put these down and screw them back in. Down and made it good. It's open. I'll show you quickly how this works with the F15 throttle, or excuse me, F18. I guess it's both. I can change the grips out. But again, you have the setup, kind of line it up, slide it in. It's a little bit tight. I'm sure that's because I moved those other plates around. I'm sure there's a little bit of play in it, but it's locked in there and sturdy. It's going nowhere. You know, you're not going to put a lot of pressure on this grip, but it's stuck. And you want to release it, pull this tab on the side, slides right out. So pretty cool. Now I can switch around when I'm flying. The only thing, you know, the F16, F18, the only thing I got to change other than this would be the handles to fly with the F15 handles. I don't do a lot of F15 flying. So this is pretty fantastic. So I'll show you how this mounts on here, and I'll also show you the differences on how it mounts with the F16 stick and one change you have to make. One of the things I will mention with mounting this is getting under these plates can be a little tough to hold this screw or this nut. So make sure you have either a wrench or something to hold that nut when you put it in there. I'm using a pair of needle nose here, but anything that will hold that nut, including a wrench, will work. I screw it in until it starts to come through, just enough so you can get a washer and a nut on it. In this case, needle nose pliers. Get it screwed down. One more turn. Lock it down. And so there you have the mounting solution here. What is included, you don't see here, is there's some 3M tape on the back of this. You peel that off, and it's easier if you put your screws through, at least a couple screws to line it up when you peel it off, and then you can stick it, you don't have to remove it again. So a little tip there. But fantastic mounting solution. The differences in the F-16 I'll show you here is this particular hole here has this captive nut in it, and the fact that you have to go through that and the plate and into the nut, the fasteners that are provided won't make it. So what I did is I bought some, what size is this? This is a 5mm by 16mm, a little bit longer. Hopefully they'll plug right into there. But I will show you how this goes together here in a second. And here it is with the F-16 throttle. Do probably have to make a minor adjustment here, as it just clips the corner of this collective. But pretty sturdy. No issues there. It's not coming off, and if you want it to come off, reach under, pull back on that red handle, slide it out, and there you have it. So easily change out for whatever you're flying. It makes it a little more convenient. It's a great system. I'm really impressed with it. I'm going to show you one more type of mount that they have, and that's mounting it to something like that rail right there, which is in a vertical position, and that will be for the MSFFB stick. So I'm going to make some minor adjustments to the rig and come back and show you that. Last mount I want to cover for today is going to be this one, and this mounts to vertically placed 80/20 or 15/30 T-slot, I'll just call it, and they again provide all the fasteners. This one's actually taped here. Interesting, the other is free floating. But so the fasteners are here, and they're they're the ball ones. So they put some quality fasteners in here for this one. I'm impressed with that, and they're great if you have a captive area or an area you can't get to. You can put these in, and you want to move something, again, as I said, you can take them out. Good fasteners. So works pretty much the same way. You have to take off these 5 screws and expose. Actually, this one you don't, because it goes in the side. So I don't know what I'm talking about there, but in the other ones, these are the plates you would remove to mount it to 80/20. But since this is already mounted to this bracket here, or these 2 brackets, you don't have to do that. You can simply unscrew these, put them in, slide it on if you have room. In this case, I do have room, which makes it a whole lot easier. And we'll show you what this one looks like. So I ended up having to do a couple of changes for how I mounted this. Mainly because it was just hard to push these things in there. So right now I'm just testing out where this is gonna lock in at and make sure that I have the right area before I screw it down. Right area before I screw it down. And probably come back a little bit more. Maybe just a hair more there, and that'll work. So there you have it, another locked in device. Beautiful. You want to change sticks around or move this because it's in the way of other gear. Simply remove it, set it down, and when you want to use it, pop it right back up again. Can't say enough good things about this quick release system. Again, it's made by QR4Rigs. They're in the UK. I'll list the information below in the video. And I don't get anything for this, so if it's something you're interested in, go take a look at all the different flavors that they have. It's just a quality bit of kit, and I'm impressed with it. I'm going to tighten this back up, and we'll have some closing comments and wrap up.